fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Manny Faces and Ram Mam from the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe line from Mattel. This is the line, of course, that is based on the CGI Netflix show that came out a few months ago, and I'm actually really excited for these two figures. I mean, first off, didn't even know we were getting a Manny Faces in this line because he did not appear in the first season of the cartoon, and Ram Mam is kind of a new fun take on the character, very prominent in the first season, so I'm glad that she's finally getting a figure. Packaging-wise, very consistent with the rest of the line that we've seen so far. You kind of have a little bit of artwork for the character up here in the corner, which is really nice because it makes it convenient when you're looking through like a long peg of these. You can kind of just, look at that top corner and see if you can spot anyone you're looking for. Otherwise, you have the big power attack here on the front, and you have the barcode on the front, which I still think is kind of weird, but they've been doing that since the beginning for this line. Spinning it around to the back, you can see we get to see his Manny Faces gimmick. He comes with some kind of like effect piece here for a power punch or something going on there. Looks like he might actually launch that as some kind of projectile. We'll see how that goes. And then it shows off two of the other figures in the line. The Powers of Grayskull He-Man that I reviewed previously. And then, of course, we have Ram Mam right here. So taking a look at her card, again, a little bit of artwork here at the top, and then spinning it around to the back. She's got this kind of giant head-tail thing going on because obviously her power is to ram things, so I'm assuming that's to kind of simulate that. And then it shows the same two characters down here in the cross cell. So, pretty cool. Very excited for these two. Going to go ahead and get them out of the packaging here, and we're going to take a closer look. So here are the figures out of the packaging. We'll start over here with Ram Mam. I think she looks great. Really nice detailing. Paint applications are really sharp. I think they did a really nice job with the face. The eyes look pretty well detailed and painted. I love the helmet here. Kind of a nice mix of translucent plastic, paint applications, and then you have a little bit of regular opaque red plastic back here for kind of the thrusters. But all in all, I think the head sculpt looks nice. Head's on a ball joint, so you can kind of go down a little bit, back a little bit. You get a little bit of tilt side to side, but a lot of nice movement side to side there. You have nice detailing and molding here in the armor. Some paint applications here on the forearms for her tattoos. The arms can swivel all the way around. Simple swivel there. You have a wrist swivel. Now she has the torso joint like the other figures have, but I feel like hers is a little wonky, and I'm not sure if it's mine, if maybe it's a QC issue with my figure, or if they're always supposed to be like this. She can go back pretty far and spring back. She can come forward a little bit and spring back, but when you try to go side to side, you don't get a very large range of motion there. This side's a little better. I can do a pretty decent pullback and spring back over here, but going from this side, I don't know, just doesn't really want to bend all that much in that direction. It kind of works, but it's not perfect. As far as the hips go, they're a little loose, but not too bad. You get a little bit of side to side here, mostly just kind of swivel front to back. So not a huge range of motion there, but decent. She's got these massive thruster boots, as you can see. Really nicely detailed and painted. They look really fun. There's no movement. It almost looks like there might be a swivel here, but I don't believe that is the case. I've kind of tried to move these a little bit. I don't want to break anything. So I don't think there's any movement there, but you get the nice gigantic thrusters here on the back. And some nice paint applications here, kind of on the kneecap and then the top of the feet. And she stands well. She looks good. She has this massive effect piece, and I'm not sure what the heck this thing is supposed to be. It goes on top of the head, obviously. So you kind of push it down like so. And it just kind of gives her this big, like, effect trail. And it almost doesn't even really fit the head. You can almost kind of see how the head is wider than this. Like, it doesn't naturally slip over. I think that's for friction. I think they want to make sure it doesn't fall right off. But it just gives her this weird kind of, like, sonic spin tail. Like, that's all I can think of. And I assume it's because, they wanted to... And it's weird that they both have these effect pieces, but I assume it's because neither of these characters have any weapons or accessories. So this is kind of what they could come up with. I mean, Ram Mam doesn't use a sword or a staff or anything like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of hesitant to give guns to these characters because they don't really use guns on the show. Because I feel like normally, traditionally, Manny Faces would come with some kind of gun or weapon or something like that. But I'm guessing they're trying to shy away from that. It's just my guess there. But yeah, so she's got this weird kind of tail thing going on. It's not the best. It's not the worst. I don't really know what they're going for with it. It's just kind of weird. I'm just going to kind of take it off and put it off to the side. But I think Ram Mam looks good. I think the figure looks good, nicely detailed, nicely painted, especially in the face. I think that looks really good. Decent articulation. Not amazing, but pretty on par for these characters, this line. So now we will move on to Manny Faces, and he's definitely a weighty character. He's pretty big, pretty massive. He's actually got some soft goods here for the cape, which actually looks nice. I like that. He's got kind of a like flimsier plastic for the little bit on the front here, but it's kind of got some molding in it. You can kind of see there, which is kind of nice. Not much in terms of paint applications because he doesn't really need it. He's just mostly this blue color. He's got a little bit of pink here on the chest. His arms can move all the way around as well. He has a wrist swivel. Now he also has the kind of traditional, and you can see how it's like a much larger range of motion, especially with side to side. So I don't know if it's just because these joints are larger, so it makes them have more articulation, and because hers is smaller, it kind of limits it. That's my guess. But he's got a nice range of motion there. You're just going to have to, hold on to something underneath this, because if you try to hold that and then move it, it's not going to work. Now, he doesn't really have any, ball joint in the hip. I tried to go out to the side, but he does not have that. He just has front to back, and then he's also got a swivel right above the knee, which is interesting. Mostly these figures don't have any leg articulation, so he's kind of the first one we're getting. Well, I haven't gotten all of Wave 2, but he's the first one that I've received that, or I was able to find, that he has the swivel there in the leg. So, interesting. But he looks great. Now, of course, his feature is Manny Faces, and I want to take a look at these faces because this looks like he's kind of an older character, which is not something we've really seen before, but I kind of like it. I like this idea. He's got a little dial here on the side of the head, and you just kind of roll this back. And now you can see we have the monster face, and then roll it back again. And we've got the robot face, all really nicely detailed and painted. And then roll back again, and we've got the human face. So I think that works really well. Very simple, integrates very nicely onto the side that you don't even really notice it. So I think they did a great job with that. And all in all, he's just a really fun figure. I think he looks good. He's got a nice heft to him. I love the soft goods cape. I think the Manny Faces gimmick works really, really well. And just all in all, I really like this guy a lot. Now, he's got this kind of weird, flame ball for his fist. And it fits on there nice enough. And I think you're supposed to... Actually, let me get this too. Stick on here. I think you're supposed to kind of put the arm up and then... Actually, I guess I'd have to go back this way. And he's supposed to, throw it. But he doesn't really. It's funny, if I barely touch it, it's going to fall off. But when it's on his arm, it will not fly off. So, I don't know. I assume that's what that's supposed to do. Just kind of like a giant power punch or something like that. It's fine. I don't really need it. I wish he came with a sword or a staff or something. If they don't really want to put guns in this line, I can understand. But I would rather he just came with some kind of sword or generic staff weapon or something. But even without it, I still think he looks pretty cool. Really nice articulation, paint, minimal paint applications, but it looks good. It's mostly just molded plastic. But the paint applications on the three heads really look good. And let's be honest, that's the most important feature for this guy. So I'm glad that that's where they decided to spend most of the paint budget. But yeah, he's pretty cool. I think both of these are pretty fun. I think Ram Mam as the figure looks good. I think, both of these really don't work. I think his is a little bit more successful. Hers is just kind of weird, but I don't really need either of these. If you just want some good-looking figures, I think they both definitely work. I'm a little bummed that her kind of torso articulation point is a little wonky. Like I said, might just be a QC issue with mine. Hopefully that's the case. But I would still recommend picking up both of these. I think they're pretty excellent, and they're only about $10 a piece, so the price is definitely right. I found these at my local Walmart. I think they're part of the third wave. Wave 2 and Wave 3 are kind of out around the same time right now, because I'm still missing about half of Wave 2. So these are the first ones I could find from Wave 3. There might be some repaints, or not repaints, I should say, repacks. Basically, a few figures from Wave 2 that they've just kind of put back into the assortment for Wave 3. I think Powers of Grayskull He-Man is in both. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's the case. But I know there's an Atom as well that I think is going to be in here that I have not found yet, so I have to track him down. So need a few from Wave 2 still, need a few from Wave 3. But so far, I think these figures have been pretty fun. For what they cost, I think they're very nicely detailed, very nicely painted, and pretty decent articulation. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.